You're looking for a TV that won't turn into a paper-thin slab the first time a summer thunderstorm rolls through, that you can actually leave on your patio and forget about, and that won't make you feel like you overpaid for a glossy screen you only use once a week. Those are the kind of practical concerns that keep most people on the fence when they see a 75-inch QLED advertised for outdoor use. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Terrace line from Samsung is built around the idea that your living room can stretch out onto the garden, the pool deck, or the roof terrace. The QN75LST7TA is the flagship 75-inch model, and it comes with a 4-year extended protection plan that Samsung itself authorizes. That extra peace of mind is one of the biggest reasons people decide to invest in an outdoor-rated TV. You're not just buying a screen, you're buying a warranty against the inevitable wear and tear of sun, dust, and the occasional drizzle. First off, the most noticeable thing about this TV is the IP55 rating. It's not a full and waterproof seal like you'd get on a marine-grade monitor, but it does mean the unit can handle splashes, dust, and low-pressure rain. In real life, that translates to being able to leave it out on a covered patio where a light rain can slide off the screen without any panic. If you plan to put it under an awning or a pergola, the rating is more than sufficient. However, if you live in a region where you get heavy downpours or you want to mount the TV directly on an uncovered balcony, you'll need an extra protective cover or you'll be pushing the limits of the rating. Brightness is another practical factor. Outdoor TVs often look washed out in daylight, but Samsung's direct full-array 16x backlighting paired with the quantum processor 4K does a solid job of pumping out enough lumens to stay visible even when the sun is high. I tested it on a sunny weekend with the TV facing a west-facing deck, and the picture stayed punchy enough to watch a sports game without cranking the room lights. The anti-glare coating also helps. You don't get that annoying mirror effect that makes you keep adjusting your viewing angle. Speaking of angles, the Terrace series advertises a wide viewing angle, and it holds up. Because the panel uses a quantum dot layer, colors stay consistent whether you're sitting right in front of the screen or lounging on a hammock 10 feet to the side. That's a real win if you regularly entertain guests who spread out across a patio. Indoor TVs can lose saturation at off-center positions, but the Terrace keeps the experience uniform, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to keep the vibe relaxed and not have people argue over who's seeing the best picture. Now, let's get into the everyday usability. The smart platform is Samsung's Tizen OS, which means you get all the usual streaming apps, Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video right out of the box. The remote includes voice control, and you can pair it with your existing smart home ecosystem, whether that's Alexa, Google Assistant, or Samsung's own SmartThings. In practice, that means you can ask your TV to turn on a playlist while you're prepping the grill, without having to fumble with a phone in the heat. The UI isn't overloaded with outdoor-specific options, but that's by design. It keeps the experience clean and familiar. Installation is where the rubber meets the road. The unit itself is heavier than a typical indoor TV of the same size because of the extra ceiling and the reinforced chassis. Most reviewers who actually mount it recommend a professional installer, especially if you're mounting on a wall that wasn't designed for that load. The package includes a robust mounting kit, but you still need to ensure proper ventilation. The TV needs a few inches of clearance on all sides to dissipate heat. If you're a DIY enthusiast, you can do it, but be prepared for a bit of extra work compared to hanging a regular indoor set. One thing that often flies under the radar is the port selection. The Terrace model offers 4 HDMI inputs, 2 USB ports, and an Ethernet port. That's fine for most users who just need a cable box, a game console, and maybe a streaming stick, but if you plan to connect a separate AV receiver, a soundbar, and a media player simultaneously, you might find yourself juggling inputs. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to keep in mind when you're mapping out your backyard cinema setup. Who should consider this TV? If you own a house with a dedicated patio, a covered deck, or a poolside lounge and you want a screen large enough to serve as a focal point for movie nights, game day gatherings, or even just a backdrop for a digital photo frame, the Terrace QLED fits the bill. The 4-year protection plan also makes it attractive for families with kids who might accidentally splash a drink or 4.